I wasn't supposed to be there yet. That was the oversight. Her voice drifted from the kitchen, loose and unguarded, the tone people use when they assume privacy. She had her phone on speaker. I knew her mother's laugh the moment it rang out. Bright, encouraging, unmistakable. "He doesn't know anything," she said, glancing out the window like she was admiring the day. I wasn't about to wreck my body over his mistake. I stood a few steps away with a mug in my hand, suddenly aware of its weight, how my fingers had tightened around it. The moment after her words landed felt unnaturally still, as if sound itself had stepped back. I didn't react. I didn't inhale. She shifted, caught sight of me from the corner of her eye. Her smile stayed right where it was. She assumed I hadn't heard, or maybe she assumed it wouldn't matter. Something inside me shut down with surgical efficiency. I inclined my head as if nothing was wrong, set the mug down gently, and walked past her. She kept talking, laughing softly, explaining herself to her mother with the pride of someone who believed she had handled a problem neatly. I left the house. By midday, the paperwork was in motion. Shock doesn't always look like hysteria. Sometimes it looks like order. Driving through familiar streets, memories reorganized themselves into clarity. The sudden fixation on reformer classes. The way she pulled away when my hand brushed her stomach weeks earlier, like I'd crossed a boundary I didn't know existed. The casual dismissal when I mentioned starting a family someday. The clinic reminder I'd once seen in her bag and ignored. The way she began sleeping curled inward at the edge of the mattress, guarding something that was no longer shared. It wasn't the procedure itself that broke us. That was only the surface cut. What mattered was the certainty behind it, the quiet confidence that I was not a participant in decisions that reshaped our lives. You don't conceal something that's significant unless you've already stepped into a parallel existence. I didn't confront her immediately. That evening I asked about her class, cooked dinner, listened while she talked about flexibility and control, as if they were virtues detached from everything else. Meanwhile, I noted expenses that didn't match our accounts, payments routed through a separate card I didn't recognize. Missed calls from a contact labeled Maya that went silent when I accidentally answered once. I stopped questioning aloud and started confirming privately. There's a peculiar calm that arrives once you accept that someone is already gone. It makes waiting easier. I requested call records, reviewed statements, hired an investigator, something I'd never imagined doing. The timeline fell into place. The pregnancy wasn't an accident that threatened our future. It was an inconvenience to her present. There was another man, a trainer from the studio. Married. Temporary. Useful. Ending the pregnancy wasn't about autonomy. It was about maintaining a lie that served only her. The report came on a Tuesday morning. Clean language, dates, names, no sentiment. I read it twice. That night, when she walked in, I asked a single question. "Were you ever going to tell me?" For a fraction of a second her expression shifted. Not remorse, but calculation. "No," she answered evenly. "Why would I?" I slid the folder across the counter. She hesitated before opening it. They always do. When she finally read, her legs gave out, and she dropped into a chair, breath shallow, hands trembling. She tried to cry. I didn't move. She said my name as if it were a key that could reverse everything. It wasn't. I felt empty, not angry. The following morning, while she stretched beneath mirrored ceilings at the studio, a process server touched her shoulder. Later I was told she laughed at first, assuming it was a prank, until she saw my name. She called again and again, messages swinging from fury to regret to panic. I didn't answer. Anything I had to say was already stamped and filed. There was no dramatic showdown in court. Just records, timelines, facts spoken aloud. The judge's demeanor changed as the evidence accumulated. Medical documentation. Financial secrecy. Truth carries weight when it's organized. Now the house is quiet again, but not the brittle quiet we once lived with. This one is solid, honest. I threw away the mug from that morning. It had cracked in my hand without me realizing it. People ask if I regret leaving so quickly. They miss the point. I didn't leave because of what she did to her body. I left because she had already erased me from her decisions. And once someone decides you don't exist, the only thing left is to make that absence final. I did.